Alright, so here is part 2 of Gcodetools, and in here we're going to show how to do multiple depths. If you have different depths that you want to have in the same drawing, which I do. Sometimes I want to draw holes that go all the way through the part and then text that's just slightly engraved in. So how do we do that? Well, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a layer. I brought my layer tool up and I'm going to say depth equals, this is just a note to myself, let's say 25 thousandths. This could be what my text would be, for example. The program, nothing cues off of this. This number doesn't mean anything to anything else but me. The program doesn't know what that means, so just a note. I'm going to draw a square again because they're great examples. Oops, I'm going to click on the path. I'll make it 1 by 1. And again, turn it into a path. So if I double click on it, you can see the nodes there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Extensions, Gcodetools, put in my orientation points. Again, this is selected. Not sure what these are. Use my surface. I'm going to plunge 25 thou, which looks good, in inches. I'm going to hit Apply, and I'll hit Close. So there is my 000, my 50, and then my plunge depth. I don't know why, but sometimes you get this little round off error in here. I'll just get rid of that extra decimal place there and keep it a nice 0.025. Good enough. Let's actually click on this and let's add our tool. Extension Gcodetools, Tools Library, Default, hit Apply. Good enough. Here it is. I'll move it over. And I'm not going to worry about the name. I know my engraving tool here will be 0.1 inches, let's say. And then when it feeds around as it's plunged, it'll be 100 inches per second. Passing when it's over the surface and you're just moving around, you can go faster. So how about 200? And then, very critical, how far we can go for each step. I'm going to say 0.01, 10 thousandths, which means if we're going to probably do 3 passes to get up to 25 thousandths. Good enough. I'll click on this now, and I need to actually make the area curves inside. So area calculation or area selection for Gcodetools. How many cutting curves will I allow it to make? I'm going to have the area be much wider than the shape, actually. That'll be a lot wider. A little bit of overlap. Let's hit Apply. Actually, looks pretty good. I don't see a lot of overlap. Notice, though, that the red outline is, there is a path on top of that. I don't want that. I'm going to click, first of all, I'm going to right-click and say Ungroup. I'm going to pay a little more attention to this than I did last time. I'm going to click on this border, get rid of it, and then click on that one and get rid of it. So let me undo that. So you can see as the tool would follow this path, it would actually hit that. If you do a kind of approximation there, you can see down below that my distance, if you look down here, 0.04, it's almost 0.05. It's 10 thousandths or 100 thousandths, which is what my tool diameter is. So I would hit the red line with the tool. So that's good. I'll get rid of the red line then. Or I can keep it around. I'll just keep it around. Now, I'm going to do the same exact thing, but with a new layer. So let me click a plus sign here. I'll say as my note, depth equals 0.01, just a small depth. And I'll turn these guys off so I'm not bothered by them. Oops. There we go. And pretend like I'm starting a new file. Let's draw a circle this time. And let's turn it into a path. Let's go to Extension, Gcodetools, and do everything else. Orientation points. Let's do 10 thousandths as the number I'm dropping to, inches. No problem. Again, we have some round off. Not sure why, so let's just get rid of that. Don't get rid of the parentheses, though. There we go, nice and clean 10 thousandths. Click on here. Oh, we need the tool path or the tool library. And you can actually make a different tool if you want. It's a purple now instead of the green because it's a second tool. And I'm going to say the diameter, I'll just use the same tool. I'm just going to go deeper, that's all. You can move around, and maybe faster in this case, just for fun. And then the depth step, let's go 5 thousandths now, because I'm only going to go 10 thousandths total. We'll do 2 steps of 5 for whatever reason. Good enough. Let's make the fill the area. And by the way, if I go to Gcodetools area, I haven't shown the fill area option yet. I've only been using this so far. Just to give you a quick idea, let's pretend if we're zigzag, what happens? You see how it sort of fills it in? It won't be the cleanest looking cut. It's kind of like a fast pocket. And a spiral just simply goes like this until it hits the side, and that's also not the cleanest thing, so I don't tend to use that. undo that, click on there, go back to the first tab, and have a certain number of curves. Make sure I have enough to fill it in. Let's hit apply and see what it looks like. Now, do you see how there's some overlap here? It just kept going. It kept offsetting until it got to the middle, and then it kept going in reverse. That's not what I want, so I'm going to undo that. And let's bring down a couple curves. Oops, I didn't select it. Hit apply. That looks good. So I'll say close, and I don't have an outer border to worry about. Okay, so I've got two different depths. If I can turn both on now and not worry about them overlapping each other. Notice we have two different depths because they're stacked up there. And you know what? I'm actually going to move these away from there. I don't want them to overlap in my case. And we're ready to go. So I'm going to select everything and then hold Shift key so I can unselect the red and unselect this red. I only want the toolpaths inside. Oops. This thing is a... not sure why it jumped there. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to ungroup this here. Now I can move them all here. Select them all. Get rid of this red here. Get rid of this red here. So I've only got the gray ones inside. That looks good to me. Now let's do our output, extensions, Gcodetools, path to Gcode. So we actually get some Gcode out of this. I'm going to use the regular depth. Nothing else has changed. I'll hit apply. And let's take a look. Sure enough, it looks like it did it okay. Let's take a look at the code in a text editor. You can see we go a safe distance of 0.05, and then we plunge to, in this case, 5 thousandths, so it looks like we're doing the circle first, and then it goes up to 10 thousandths, and then we start over again. We go to another circle, 10 thousandths. So we're doing all the circles here, and at some point we're done with the circles. Looks like we get some simpler shapes here. Now we penetrate to 10 thousandths. Then we go to 20. Then we go to 25, and we start again, 10 thousandths, 20, 25. So that would be the square that was at 25 thousandths, if I'm not mistaken. Let's turn on 25 thousandths is the square. Yeah, so we have two different shapes now, two different depths, two different steps, sizes. So pretty extravagant, pretty nice for a free tool. So again, developers, you kick ass. Amazing product or amazing program here. Any questions? Just give me a put it in the chat tool or chat of YouTube, and I'll answer them. And any tips? I'm still trying to figure this program out. There's a lot to it I don't know about yet, but just this alone, you can do a lot of damage. So until next time.